Donc, alors, moi, je suis Paul Sitbon, je suis le fondateur du...
I'm Paul Sitbon.
Initialement,
I'm the president of this
my real job
company.
is I'm the president of CKiwi.
I'm the president of
Organizing
CKiwi.
Congress came as a side hobby.
Working in Congress came as a
Company
side hobby.
CKiwi, and we're specialized in mobile technologies for cities and territories. So we do mobile technologies for cities, for regions, and we go all the way to countryside. So I'm going to show you two things. I'm going to show you what we do in the cities, and then I will explain what the key drivers of efficiency for a mobile app in a city can be, and then we will move all the way to operations and how this platform can serve operations.
Et nous allons parler de notre
start with a short
plateforme et la
video,
manière
which
dont
is
elle
this
peut
one.
servir à ces opérations.
The fast adoption of smartphones by citizens everywhere is opening huge opportunities for cities to deliver improved communication, interactions, and services to their citizens. Mobile apps have become the critical component of smart cities. The first step into Smart City is the citizens' dedicated mobile app to exchange efficiently with citizens. More advanced applications include citizen participative apps for issues management, parent-school relationship apps, city council collaboration app, maintenance apps, real-time location tracking of city mobile equipment. The next step involves Internet of Things, with connected objects to deliver even more sophisticated services. The problem is, how can a city start with the essential services with immediate citizen adoption while also prepare the grounds for more advanced future services? This is why we created City Cloud. With City Cloud, you can create mobile apps for your citizens with a list of 50 ready-to-use services which you can activate and combine at will. Communication, news, contact lists, places of interest, events, QR code reader, cities TV channel integration, surveys, and many more. City Cloud is the most comprehensive platform to create your city mobile apps while creating the grounds for more advanced services. It works on all mobile phones and requires no computer skills. Select the modules you require for each app and then configure them. It's click and play. Choose the leading solution already adopted by 80 towns, representing over 6 million citizens. City Cloud is the most advanced solution to create and manage all present and future services. City Cloud guarantees your successful entry into the era of smart cities.
Okay, so basically, this kind of technology we see as the technology or the kind of technology. We're not aware of many platforms out there who do this currently. Basically, the idea is that it's not one service you're looking at. I mean, the immediate service you're looking at for a city is, I mean, the first objective service is to deliver information on people's smartphone. Smartphones are the most powerful communication media. They're constantly with each of us. I mean, if there's one thing we never leave, it's our smartphones. I mean, this was made in studies. They said if you have to choose between your shoes and your smartphone for 1 week, what do you choose? And over 50%, they keep their smartphone. There are other comparisons, which involve other type of, sex. If you have to choose between 1 week with your smartphone and 1 week without sex, then the answer is also a little bit in that area. So it's very interesting to see the attachment that we have. I mean, you go to a swimming pool, you just have your bathing suit, and you have your smartphone. So the smartphone is there all the time. And so if you need a media through which you're sending information to citizens, it's the smartphone. The smartphone is also much more powerful than any other communication media because it's loaded with sensors. You have probably 10, 15 sensors. The more it goes, the more mobile operators and manufacturers, they integrate more sensors. And so the capacity of a smartphone becomes just incredible. I mean, you can detect metal with a smartphone. You can detect the pulse of an individual with a smartphone. You can sense sensors which are a few centimeters away, sensors which are meters away, sensors which are hundreds of meters away. And so you can locate people with the precision that you need at any point in time. So it's a very, very powerful media. And so the smartphone is the natural device to which you would be sending information. Smartphone receive instant alerts, and especially in cities where you have to manage security, the smartphone is a very powerful media. And so the issue that you will see coming very quickly is that your city does not need just one application. The city or the territory needs many applications. One application is going to be used to communicate with the citizens. One application may be used to receive feedback and collaborate with the citizens so that they can come in and signal and indicate when they run into issues or when they notice problems. And so you can use smartphones for city councils, where the city council can collaborate and you can exchange information, you can ease exchanges of information, you can ease communication flows within groups. So it can be just a city council, or it can be the group in charge of management of services, of maintenance, technical teams. You can ease collaboration within these teams. You can build applications for technical purposes, for management, for tracking teams which are moving around and delivering service, for teams which need to understand where they have to go. If a container is full or not full, do they have to maintain it? Do they need to inspect all containers, or should they have an application which tells them that today they only have to check 3 containers of garbage out of the 30 ones they have out there? So applications will cover many fields. Now, if you start looking at these kind of applications, as soon as you enter that business, then you start seeing that it's not a fixed, you're not looking at a fixed technology. I mean, the further you go into the topic, I mean, people say, well, you know, the service is good, we're doing this and that, and that's working great, but it would be really great if we can integrate this kind of service, or we can move into this field, because it would also offer new improvement, productivity improvements. And so you're looking at technology which is extending in terms of usage. More and more apps are going to be needed on the territory, and you're also looking at apps which are going to require more and more integration and more features. And if you start developing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 apps, and then you have teams for developing each of these apps, and you have to maintain these over time, and you have to regroup the data, then you start realizing that the maintenance is going to be extremely difficult. So we came from that, and we figured that the answer to this problem relies in apps generators. Okay, so the apps generator, where you create your cloud, and you have one system with connectors which can connect to the different systems in the city, and this cloud can process the information coming from these different systems and deliver the service to the citizens, to the teams, to the city, to the businesses, to whoever you're delivering services to. But you do this on one unique framework. And I have a second video I'll show you, which explains how this... Just a second.
Mobile is creating a revolution for every business and administration. Every organization can deliver significant improvements with the use of mobile and cloud applications, which pave the way for faster collaboration, more efficient processes, connected objects, and creating a new way of working. Multiple applications will soon improve maintenance, quality control, project management, security, client relationship management, real-time location apps, and many more. But this creates issues. Multiplication of projects, high costs, dispersion of data, high time to market, apps distribution, and maintenance complexity. So the solution is apps generators. With apps generators, create multiple projects for any purpose and avoid wasting time and money. It's a ready-to-use cloud solution working in 23 languages, enabling global rollout in record time. Apps Generators comes loaded with 50 modules, but it also lets you integrate your own modules and software. We support you in achieving your solutions. Once your modules are created, zero technical knowledge is needed to generate new applications. It's click and play. Practically, how does this work? Set up your apps generator. Select the modules you want to distribute. Integrate your own features. Invite users to your cloud where they can create apps, pick their modules, and be operational within just a few hours. Apps Generators enable significant R&D synergies group-wide. It helps you drive the distribution throughout the organization. Get Apps Generators and ensure your success into next generation mobile.
Okay, so basically this is the principle. If you want to focus then on the services, I will...
Si on veut se focaliser sur les services.
So then little focus on the services themselves. Okay, we're moving from, so the principle, you understand that you're going to have to produce many apps, and so you're going to need an integrated platform. Sorry, yes, sir, thank you. So if you're going to need an integrated platform to produce these applications. If we go into the services, the basic services that your citizens are looking at, okay? So we'll start going into this. Basically, again, you need a cloud. The cloud is the condition because the cloud is where all the interactions are going to take place. So you need one unique repository for data. And this cloud will be the underlying support for all the applications that you will be delivering progressively to the citizens. So the cloud is going to support the businesses. That means that your businesses, they need an account on this cloud. I mean, they need to be identified and they need to be able to manage information and publish information. At some point, you're going to have to think on how to develop local commerce. So when you start looking into developing local commerce, then you need your businesses to have an account on your own cloud. This is your information system. This is the city's information system. You need the citizens, of course, to have an account. I mean, the citizen at some point is also going to have to access information and will have to interact with the other parties, either receiving information from objects, either transmitting information to businesses, buying from businesses, and this relation with citizens, with the other stakeholders in the city is carried through the cloud. The public services, of course, are going to have to be tracked and managed on the same cloud. The private operators at some point will need also some access because they'll be providing data transmission and receiving data transmission from the cloud. The connected objects now is a new field which is taking off. I mean, lately it has been an explosion. We've had figures previously. And so the sensors being only a few cents, I mean, you can place sensors now. The cost is only a few cents, so there's no limit to the kind of application that you can build using sensors. And at some point, these sensors, they're going to have to connect to your information system so that you can process the information and redistribute it. Either the sensor information is going to your own teams, either it's going to the public, and it might need some processing before it's being sent to the public or to your teams, and this is happening in your cloud. The arts and culture, of course, which is a natural component of the city, like the tourist information, and the shops, which are selling to the local citizens. Last but not least, safety is an essential component, and there are many areas in which you can manage safety. If you have like flooding risk, for example, flooding risk is something which can be very dramatically contained by having instant alert systems, which can be detection systems. So this is sensor-based, that water level is going up in a specific area, and then you have an area which is at risk. And by instant notifications. We've had live losses in France a few years ago because there was no notification system, instant notification system, where you can send information immediately to people that lands on their smartphone, says there's a high risk of flooding right now in your area, so take measures immediately. There was no system for doing so, and then flooding creates terrible issues. So really safety is a very important component of the cloud system. So again, if we want to gather this in these areas, so risk and crisis management is a very important aspect. Again, there are many ways you can contain risk and crisis. Citizens' relationship is a very important, also primary need of mobile applications, and economic development is one that comes really close afterwards. So risk and crisis management, like I said, one most important features of these apps is the instant alerts. There's a problem upcoming. You know there's a problem upcoming. How do you reach thousands of citizens in evening time, morning time, and you need to notify something is going wrong? How do you inform? We were talking to a city hall back a few months ago, and they had a person shooting in front of a school. And so they said, we secured the area, the police came in, they put the children on the other side of the building, so they were not at risk, but we had no way of informing the parents that the children were safe. And so the parents were left out in the blue. They did not know what was happening. They knew that there was a shooter in the area. They knew that they could not get anywhere close to the school, but we had no way of telling them that the situation was under control. So this you can do with instant alerts. There is no more powerful system to ensure information is reaching out to everyone within very, very short time. Reversely, the citizen can be a stakeholder in the security aspect by sending information. So via mobile applications, very easy for a citizen to send information to the city hall. by saying, I noticed that there's a problem in this area. I see a security problem here. I've noticed that something is suspicious in my area. The power of these systems is that he's going to be geolocated automatically. So we know exactly his position, GPS position at 10-meter precision. And the information is sent to the city hall. You can add an image. So within like 10 seconds, you get an instant information from an area with the problem that's taking place. So the citizen becomes an active participant to the security. And then citizen survey, which might also help in risk containment and crisis management. So these alert systems are also powerful because it helps citizens can choose actually which alerts they subscribe to. So basically you see here, you can say, well, I will subscribe to this school and I will subscribe to this kind of alert, and the other ones I don't want to subscribe. Okay, so he's only receiving what he needs. Now, if it's a security issue, you can go through anyway, as long as he accepted to receive first level of alerts from the application, which usually he does when it's a city. These alerts are very unwelcome when they come not requested. Like if you receive right now a text message from a shop which is at the bottom floor of this building, you're going to be really upset because you think that this is very intrusive. How do they know that I'm in this building? And why are they sending me this message? Reversely, when you're a city hall and you send a message to an application which people downloaded, then it's very relevant. I mean, the people who receive it, there's a 95% satisfaction rate. People say, well, it's good. I got the application. The city is informing me that something important is happening. And so the acceptance rates and it's very, very positive. And then you can not only send the alert, but you can send detailed information. So if you have an image indicating like which is the path to move out of the area, then you can send the image also. So it's not only the fact that you send the alert instantly, it's checked instantly by the citizen, it's also the fact that you can send detailed information. So you can send a map, you can send a video, you can send images, you can send detailed information about what's going on.
Une carte, une vidéo.
So this, the same, you can create instant notification system. This is where the citizen comes into action, and he's the one providing information. I've noticed that we have an issue in the system. Now you see here is the citizen providing the information, but the same way you can have a sensor which just detected that the water level of the river has just gone up 1 meter, and the sensor sends the information to the system sends the alert to the mayor, for example, or can send the alert directly to the population, saying we've noticed that the river just passed this level. Okay, and we've had legal, mayors have had legal issues in France because they missed this notification to the population. They were condemned because they were told you did not take the measures to provide information, to inform the population that they were in a risky situation. A system like that, with one sensor or set of sensors, sending the notification automatically to everyone, there's no, I mean, the legal responsibility of the mayor is really contained because he implemented the measures that made sure, at least as much as possible, that the risk would be contained. The smartphone also is interesting because if your a phone system goes down, the alerts can still arrive through the Wi-Fi. If the electricity goes down, the alerts can still arrive through the smartphone, which has a battery autonomy. So this system is the one that stays up and running the longest time, even in critical situations.
Parce que la batterie n'est pas liée au réseau.
So this is, of course, more, I mean, less critical in terms of security, but then you start entering the, I mean, this is lifestyle. So people want to be informed. You have an event. Well, this is not a good example probably, but you have an event. And so the event is this evening. Automatically you set up an event. The people receive a notice the day before. They can receive a notice 1 hour before. And automatically they keep informed. It's not like they miss the event because they didn't get the information or they forgot about it. You can make sure they receive the information anytime it's important. Surveys, we've talked a lot about participative democracy and collaborative, the open government. Surveys are a very efficient tool as well. You create a survey within seconds, you send out an alert, everybody receives the alert, you click, you open the forms, you click on you make 2 clicks, you answer, and within a few seconds, you've collected people's information. And then you can justify. You say, well, we conducted a survey from this time to this time, we received 80% position for this option, and so we decided to go to this option, and it's unquestionable as soon as you have some fact-based information to support it.
de 80% de réponses
So this
positives,
is
donc
more
on
about
décide
the
de prendre cette
news, and you
décision.
can have, of course, the smartphone has you can add a lot of media to the
Ensuite, on peut également ajouter
to whatever news you're displaying. So there can be
beaucoup de
audio files,
médias
PDF files, etc.
au
So there's a lot of
téléphone,
rich information you can
portable.
associate to your communication.
de l'information
And then
riche.
also the phone has everybody's agenda.
Le
So
téléphone
you know, in
comprend
one click you
également
can add to your
l'agenda
own
de tout le
agenda,
monde.
your
Donc,
own
en un clic, on peut se
calendar.
connecter
You can share
à
on the
notre
social
agenda
networks. I mean, you can make sure
et
that
le
this
partager
information is noted for the person you're sending it to
pour
and
être
is
sûr
shared
que
among
cette
his own
information soit
network. So this is about the full multimedia, of course.
partagée.
And then the GPS side of these applications is very powerful, as you can integrate. I mean, you can promote.
Est très puissant.
So this is about the interactions. So in this area we have the surveys we mentioned already. You can manage requests. So this can also be a system where you can have citizens send in information to the city hall. So they can send requests. I have a request for. I need a specific form. I need to send information. I need to receive some kind of formula. I need to make a demande administrative, administrative request, and so you send it automatically, and you can define for each of the different categories of request who is the recipient. So you can enable direct communication flow from citizens to the city hall manager. From city hall manager to another city hall manager, if he needs to transfer the request, once he's completed his own responsibility, he transfers the request to another person in the organization until the request is completed. And then the requester receives a message, text message arrives on his phone saying, we completed your request, your document is available, it was sent to you, whatever the process was supposed to be. And so you can ensure this tracking in between the city hall managers and the citizen on what the status of each request is. So then we have economic development. And so the system is also very powerful, as you can enable mobile management of content to businesses. So the business can manage their content. They can manage their catalogs. And you can create a local marketplace where people can buy directly from local businesses. So this is a very powerful system to develop commerce in areas in which we have limited communication system. This goes through commerces. The shops, they have their own app where they can manage their content. The citizens, they have their own app where they can exchange, buy from the commerces which are placing their catalogs online. And so you really ease the communication in between the local shops and local vendors with the local citizens. Of course, you have tourist information, which is also quite important. And the important aspect in this is that you have to manage multilingual, and this is something we addressed natively. I think we have 23 languages. Yeah, 23 languages, and you can add languages as you want. It's really something which is really easy. It takes like 3 or 4 days to add one full language and make a platform which is fully compatible in this new language.
Et donc nous avons plus d'une vingtaine
de
langues différentes.
These are all the features. I mean, these are the main features. Okay, these are the essential features. So better safety, which is, I think, number one for the city, which is to show and to have systems where they can enable direct communication to the citizens, direct communication and communication from the citizens. And so to me, this is one of the fundamental aspects. The real-time communication, the participative government, where people can come in and vote and give their own opinion. Easing access to arts and culture, which is the arts and culture. We didn't focus too much during the Congress on this, but we think it's a major component of the smart city, which is developing the access to arts and culture. And we have some very nice startups here who have great technology for promoting arts and culture, and we think it's a very important component. The interest, for example, you have 50 seats left in a facility for this evening show. You can send an instant message saying we have 50 seats left and they're discounted 50% or whatever. And then you can have people booking and actually going to the show even if they hadn't planned to do that. And then doing this without a smartphone application is very complex. You can develop local commerce, which is extremely important. And then the next step again is the integration of objects with automated flow of information to city hall teams and to citizens. So that's the concept, and that's how we develop this platform, which is fully click and play. You can generate apps really on the flow, and then manage them and configure them, and have something which is ready to use within very limited time and with absolutely no technical knowledge.
Donc, qui nécessite aucune connaissance technique et qui est extrêmement rapide à créer.
Any questions?
Y a-t-il des questions? Je serais heureux d'y répondre.
Yes, please. Hold on, hold on.
Bonjour, je voudrais savoir quelles sont les grandes villes qui ont adopté votre City Cloud.
Écoutez, nous sommes en Île-de-France, donc nous avons démarré naturellement par l'Île-de-France, donc nous avons des villes comme Garches, Ville d'Avray, on a un certain nombre de communes, je crois qu'on doit être avec 6 ou 7 communes de l'Ouest parisien. Ensuite, nous avons, so we have like a few cities with us which are in the Paris area, and then we have probably about 50 or 60 cities which are in France and who adopted the system, who use it on a regular basis. And we develop partnerships also with a few cities in Africa. So we have a partnership with the city of Dakar, for example, which is a very large city, 3 million people. We have a partnership with Ouagadougou. So we have, altogether, it's around 80 cities in France. I think the largest organization is probably the Pays de Grâce, which is a communauté d'agglomération.
The most evolved may be the Pays de Grâce, which is a communauté d'agglomération.
Other questions? All good then. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.